Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set and also to hang out with you and probably to rant a little bit. I'm going to kick things off by throwing the Bear Cave Lego to the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Sin is here saying all new code, subscribing 71 months on a 70-month streak. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Yes, my applause works. Thank you, Stream Deck. I decided to make myself larger. My intro screen, I used to be smaller, and I just went big, and we'll figure out if I need to go home or not. But welcome. Sin says, Lord Crashton's here. Hello, Crashton. Sin says earlier, do we know if this is or not an Xbox? As far as I know, this is not an Xbox. This is a stream on Twitch. I'm fairly confident this is not an Xbox. It could be, but I don't think it is. We won't talk too much about Phil Spencer and Xbox tonight because I got other gaming stuff to talk about. But let's just get it out of the way. Things on the stream might be a little different. My audio could not sound as good as it did on Tuesday. It could sound better. I actually, at this point, honestly, cannot fucking tell. I can tell you that my gate isn't right, and I don't remember what my gate settings were, but like if I stop talking, me touching the table will get picked up by my microphone, and I don't want that, and I have to fix that. But the fact that I'm talking to you right now, that I'm streaming, that OBS works, that Stream Deck works, all but one song that I used before I found again because I did not. This is on me. I backed up so much shit. I backed up so many things. I did not back up my Stream Deck music folder, and I should have. And it's a note in my document of everything I need to re-download and everything I need to save on an external drive. My Stream Deck folder needs to go in there, and it didn't, and that's on me. My Stream Deck has a profile. I thought that would at least have a reference somewhere. It does not. I'll get into what's going on here in case you don't follow me on the social media, which, hey, great, good. You shouldn't. Don't. Social media is a crime. Let's go over to the main. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So, I've been talking about, we're working on the Lego flowers and watering can. We're going to build a boot out of Lego with flowers coming out of the boot. So we'll start here. What's the deal, Pat? I'm just checking. My CPU usage is higher than it used to be, slightly. That could be this fresh install of Windows 11. It could be that some settings I did, I think it might be the background remover is just using more processing than the previous background remover thing that I used. But it's still only 4% of CPU usage, and that's fucking fine instead of 3%. It went up like a percentage point. I think that's totally okay. Lord Crashton has been a 130 stream streak, and that's ridiculous, Lord Crashington. Thank you for your continued viewership and support, of course. So, my computer has been weird for a bit. When I upgraded to Windows 11 previously, not too long ago, I just did the upgrade. I did not do a fresh install of Windows 11. I should have. I didn't because I was being lazy. Because I was like, well, it's been a couple of years now. I got this computer in February of 2022. It came, it was like upgrade ready because it was a pre-built, so it had been built previously. So I said, I'm not going to do it. And I didn't do it for 2 years, but some legacy software that I like had finally upgraded and was Windows 11 capable. And I was like, let me just do it. I've said previously that my computer had no issues before, and that's a lie. This computer never crashed. I never had a blue screen of death until I upgraded to Windows 11. But I did run into problems in Windows 10 on occasion. I had this strange problem where I would go to put the computer to sleep and Steam wouldn't let it. Steam was doing something and it was being weird and I couldn't do it. So I'd have to close Steam and then it could go to sleep. And sometimes my computer would just wake up out of hibernation. It would be asleep and wake up on its own. And I don't know why that was. And I couldn't figure out why that was. So I would end up, shutting down my computer instead of putting it into sleep. And I didn't enjoy that. Because I much rather just have it do what I want to do. So that was the only problem my computer had. I upgraded to Windows 11. Everything seemed okay. I was managing things. I got what I needed from it. And then my computer blue screened. It just blue screened out of nowhere. And I checked the crash logs. And the crash logs seem to indicate, and I'll do this short because I've already explained everything. The crash logs seem to indicate, to me anyway, that this was legacy issues, that it was display stuff. And so, okay, well, I'll get rid of NVIDIA stuff. I'll get rid of GeForce. I'm just going to go to stock drivers, and then I will reinstall a fresh copy, and that'll fix everything. That didn't fix everything. So I was like, okay, next shot is it's showing there's some stuff here from Logitech. I don't need this. This is like, apparently when I upgraded to Windows 11, I downloaded, as part of the upgrade, I got new Logitech gaming software, which, if you're unfamiliar, I use it to digitally zoom in on myself with my webcam, because I have a Logitech webcam. So I use the gaming software to zoom in on myself. I could use it to record things. I don't, but I use it to zoom in on myself because the digital zoom with this in the Logitech software is better than OBS's software to zoom in. It just works better. So I do that. Oh, I do want to point out, these are hidden eyes. I don't think we're going to see these eyes. That's just a fun secret for us. So I get rid of that. It's fine for like a day. Crashes again. One time it crashed while I was doing stuff. Another time it crashed while I was out of the room. You're saying they're private eyes. Yes, Remy, these are private eyes. So crash report tells me, hey, I got rid of this stuff. I got rid of it. I used auto runs to get rid of it. And then I switched to different Logitech software, which I'm currently using now. I forget the name. Is it Logi? It's Logitune. Logitune is their, basically they spun off the gaming stuff to make software that is meant for Zoom and conference call stuff. And you can use, virtual cameras and stuff like that. So I'm using that now. That also could be why my CPU usage is a little higher than previous. Anyway, that's besides the point. So I tried that. I did that. There was another thing called gaming. There's something where there were like multiple copies. This was also an issue that some people have had. There have been forum conversations about this, and mostly it was people making conjecture that it's a problem in upgrading from Windows 10 to Windows 11. And I was like, okay. And then I had a crash yesterday. And it's one thing if you're like, I'm doing all this heavy stuff. I'm using my 3 monitors. I'm going crazy. My usage is wild. And I'm pushing the computer farther than it needs to go. No, I was literally not doing anything. My computer just decided it wanted to crash. And I was like, well, I'm not streaming tonight. Fuck this. Fresh install. Windows happened. Yes, Lord Crashington. Windows did happen. I want to tell you that I dug up a USB flash drive. This USB flash drive right here. I found it. Very happy I found it because I didn't know where it was, but I did find it. In my attempt to create the installation, the boot, so I could boot off of it, my computer crashed while I was trying to do it. So I ended up making this boot drive on my laptop. And thank God I have my laptop. I mean, worst comes to worst, I could have asked my mother to use her laptop, but I don't want to do that. So I did it on my laptop, transferred it over, booted it up. Yes, I used to have Lastbrook as part of my job. For those that don't know, I spent many years working in theaters, primarily 2 under one company, but then freelance. USB, I had a USB on my keychain because like people would be like, oh, I have my files on my computer. Can I email them to you? And I'd be like, what if I handed you this USB drive and you just gave that shit to me right now? Or like, oh, hey, you know that PowerPoint you put together for my show? Could I have that? It's like, do you have a USB? Okay, here, we'll just put it on there. You have your computer? Okay, I'll give you this USB drive with it on there. You know, it's just easy. Anyway, side point. I had one. Got it up, got it on this computer. I have an internal drive that is like 4 terabytes that is like 5% full. It's slow. It's a slow computer. It's not an SSD. So it's not great. It's just great for storage. Loaded that up with everything I could think of. OBS has profiles. Saved all the profiles for the various things I do. YT downloader stuff. A bunch of program stuff. And then I went through and thought of every program possible that I use. I went through... Because some people say, why do you do this, Pat? Why do you keep a folder named icons with all of your icons that go on your desktop? Why don't you just get rid of those shortcuts? It's for stuff like this. I went through my entire icon folder and went, need it. Okay, don't need it, okay. And then I wrote a list in a Google Doc of everything that I would need to get again. Put all of my download folder, which is I keep too much stuff and I need to sort later, onto there. Backed up a bunch of stuff. Put on, because I have another smaller SSD, or SSD that's smaller than my main, as my like files that I access all the time. My music that I'm playing before stream starts is off that. I made sure everything I needed on there. I made some backups of some stuff. My Stream Deck folder of music and cues didn't make the cut. I forgot to do that because in my head, I was like, well, it saves the profile. Elgato has my profile. This will be fine. It wasn't fine. I managed to find all of the songs that I need, all the cues I need, all my sound effects, and I even found the dance song because I get a copyright notification every time it goes up because someone else who is not the person claimed it. And it's fine. Everything's fine with that. But because I get those claims, I could find the name of the song and then look it up in Elgato Stream Deck stuff. So I even have that. The one thing I don't have is I was unable to find the song that I play when I dramatically transition from the intro screen to the overhead camera after the pulse of the cause. I cannot for the life of me figure out what that song was. So I have a different song that I like. Also, that transition isn't as good as it used to be because I don't have the timing right. I'm going to play around with it. I just wanted to get it done. So I got all that in, got that done. I need 9 of these and 2 of those. Okay, so I need 7 more of these. Got all that done. And then I spent last night and today, whoops, I'm dropping some KBBS, but we should come back soon. Looks like we're coming back. Sorry about that, friends. It wasn't a disconnect, so I'm happy. I'll take it. And then I just started getting things that I needed again, right? Getting those things, realizing that apparently I had changed my Twitter password and didn't update Firefox with a Twitter password, and I couldn't remember what it was, so I had to reset Twitter, which is like not a real problem, honestly, but I still, want it for this stuff, for promotion and all that. Got everything back. I can't believe I did this. I saved, when I upgraded to Windows 11, I found an article of things to turn off to make Windows 11 more like Windows 10. I saved a link to that article and found it. So I was able to go back in and do that. Got everything I needed out of the store, got everything loaded up last night, and then started to work on OBS. Knowing that today I would take time. Today I dedicated my time to Stream Deck and OBS and downloading games, big games off of Steam, because I didn't back up my Steam games because I was like, I'm just going to re-download them. That's fine. WWE took forever to download. That's okay. Power Wash Simulator I wanted because I wanted to. So I didn't actually get all of the. I need 9 of these. Power Wash Simulator I wanted to download because I wanted to play it a little bit, which I did. That was my congratulations for myself, my reward. But I got it all done. So the big thing that I had to do was OBS. OBS was the big thing I had to do because you can save your profiles. Now, when you save a profile, it's awesome because it remembers my Twitch information. It remembers my recording settings. It remembers my streaming settings. It remembered my the settings I put in for the Panasonic camera because I have brightened this. I've increased the contrast. It remembered that. It remembered a ton of stuff. It doesn't remember plugins like Stream Deck plugin, the closed captioning. So theoretically, the closed captioning should work. It don't work for me, but if I go to, sorry, I gotta reach. My audio may play here, so I don't want that to happen. But oh, it didn't work. Huh. It should have. Why didn't it? Weird. It didn't work. All right, I have to check that. Sorry, everybody. Apparently, the cloud closed captions is not working. Oh, you know what? I bet I don't have the audio source set up. Output to streams only, caption source, mic. There we go. Save. Okay, now it's working. Great. I'm glad I checked that. I couldn't check it without going live, so I'm glad I did. I forgot to go in there and set the audio source to be this microphone. So it was working. It just wasn't working. You know what I mean? When I got Windows 11 laptop, I did a whole boot into command line and turned off the online starter. Turns out I am smarter than Elmo Musk. Yeah. OBS, again, saves your profile. So my recording profiles looked good. What it doesn't do in a profile is save your scenes. So I had to rebuild my scenes. Turns out I remembered how to do most things. I remembered where to go in Ko-Fi for that overlay. The alerts, I've got the alerts coming in, which we saw when Sin resubbed, that popped up, which was nice. That was a nice test. Thank you for that. I'm able to see all that. That's all working. You may notice that in the top corner, my numbers are a little different. These are, I'm currently at 25 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40, I should say. I shut up at 40. Hadn't said that. My numbers there don't look like they used to. Apparently, you have to export your scenes individually. Yeah. So you can export profiles easily, but I didn't export my scenes, which I didn't realize I needed to do. And I'm going to do that. Once I'm happy with how everything looks, I'm going to go and do that step just because. Because I want to be safe rather than sorry. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So I had to rebuild that. Apparently, the browser source for the numbers that I used to use, Twitch changed it. And I have to finally, but the old one works. I just have to find the old one, and I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do that because I liked how the numbers moves and the bar moved underneath the number, like behind the numbers. I thought that looked rad. This, I don't love how it looks, but whatever. We're going to go with it for now. How I look in here, how big I am in here is a little different. I did have to go and put my filter back in. Let's see. So me as a webcam, filter, this one. I have it on I wonder if that's gonna, yeah. That'll probably drop my CPU. It looks like it's the same. Whatever. I'm gonna use the shittier thing. But uh I don't know. Yeah, I had to redo a lot of stuff. And I'm not happy about that. I missed wrestling last night. This is the first AEW episode of Dynamite that I have missed literally since I stopped streaming on Wednesdays and started streaming on Tuesdays. Like, that's the first time. So, wild. Wild. But yeah, I think I was done at like 9:30. I was like, and then I had to go through and update everything. I'm still not done. OBS is still the place where I have the most left to do, because today was get Stream Deck up and running, so I don't have to run everything manually, which is working pretty well, I think. And the other thing that I have to do today was get OBS up and running. I'm not happy with my gate. I think my gate needs to be adjusted. I think my noise gate is just not right. I think the compressor is working well. I'm fairly happy. Again, I also hit a point where nothing I did made me happy as far as audio goes, and I was like, I don't like how any of this sounds. Fuck. So I would like to hear from you. If you don't mind, especially folks that have, been to a stream lately, do you think the audio is about the same as normal, Pat? Oh, shit, this is great. Room for improvement. Or I guess the fourth thing, is it better than it was previously, but there's still room for improvement? Because that's totally possible that you were unhappy with my audio previously. Like, if that's the case, that's also reasonable to say. But let me know. It was an all right show. Yeah, Lasberg, I watched clips. I think that I was happy with the clips. I am surprised at one of the outcomes. I kind of think we're going to get more trickery there, but MJF versus Roddy Strong doesn't really do much for me. But also, I don't know if Adam Cole versus MJF. I think the three-way fight would have been the only one that actually would have done anything for me. But yeah, I'd like to hear from you if that's all right. And again, you don't have to. But what do you think about the audio right now? And maybe you need more time, but let me know. Also, when people ask for sound stuff, the dance button, the transition, if you hear something in the audio and you're like, oh, you need to boost that. If yeah is still too low, let me know, because that sound effect is quiet, so I had to boost it. And I don't know if I boosted it enough, but like, yeah, I'm just mad. Lord Crashington has seemed fine so far. Great. Glad to hear that, Lord Crashington. And then I just have to turn down my mic a little bit when I am recording things, because when I record things, I'm talking into it differently than I am now. And that's fine. Turns out one of the things that I think the only difference I've noticed is you haven't been peeking when looking directly at the mic. That's great. That should mean that the audio stuff that I've been doing was working out. That's probably going to be the limiter. It sounds like that would be my limiter is doing well, which is great. Excellent to hear, Lashbrook. Yeah, I also have a thing where like it's set up well for this, but if I get up on it, sometimes that could be an issue. Or like some streams, like on a Tuesday, I wasn't cutting my mic back. I wasn't cutting my gain, because when I do streams and I change the mic, that does affect things. So I just have to play around with it. The fact that I'm streaming the day after doing a fresh install on this computer and I got enough of it working makes me very happy. Again, I'm going to tweak the dramatic transition because I'm not thrilled with that yet. I gotta work on the times and all that. I actually, I did a dry run, meaning I had my glass but no water in it. So I gotta see how I feel with the water going. Yeah, so that was the major thing that I've done the yesterday and today was get this up and running. As of right now, since 9 something last night, no crashes, no errors. Fresh install seems to be pretty good. I've mostly gotten things where I want it. Kind of turned down some things here and there. I had to do custom because I like Windows 11 to be like I don't know how to describe it, but like the appearance. I like light on top, dark on the bottom. Like I want my my taskbar to be black, but I want the top stuff to be brighter in folders. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I just have my preferences. I had to go in and Microsoft wanted me to do some legacy things like for my old computer, which I didn't want to do because I'm trying to start fresh with it in general. So I was just like, no. So I had to go and find the background image. Luckily, I did find the Pizza Cat's image, which is the background for everything. I know that what do you call it? I know that Power Wash Simulator is working. I know that Hearthstone is working. I have not tried any other games to get them loaded up. I have not. I will say this because it was not a priority, but it will be something that I have to do. I have not ran Pokemon. I have not ran Pokemon yet. I got to get that working, which is going to be a pain in the ass because I have to get the two that's going to be annoying. Getting the Pokemon Black randomizer. I have till Tuesday's stream to do that, although I do need to play that game a little bit and see if I need to grind because I don't remember where I am in that game. I got to watch the old archive, the last archive, and see, and then also do that. So I didn't have a lot planned for yesterday, but I definitely didn't plan on doing this. So here's my big thing. If you got a Windows 10 machine and it's time for you to upgrade to Windows 11, consider, 1, not upgrading to Windows 11. Just consider it. Consider not doing it. See if that helps you out. What if you didn't? What if you didn't? 2, you got to do it? Okay. You got to do a fresh install. Don't be like me. Don't make the mistakes I made. Learn from my mistakes. Don't just do the upgrade. Do a fresh install. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, that's the big thing I learned is I should have just done when I upgrade, I should have just done the fresh install. I didn't do it because it was annoying, and instead I gave myself more annoying things to do. I had a day to do it where I could, like, it's like, oh, this doesn't take any time at all to upgrade. And I had all that time, and I should have done it. And then also, if you are going to do the fresh install and you are going to wipe everything out, I would say go ahead and, and get rid of all the partitions on the drive and all that. I would say just do the full legwork, have a list of the programs you need to find, of everything, and get everything you need, but then also be ready to realize, oh yeah, I didn't think of this, I didn't think of that, and get the files off your computer that you actually want and have that. Too late for me on both fronts. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that have upgraded to 11 that like had no problems. It just nothing went wrong, but damn if I didn't have some legacy stuff. And maybe the previous Windows 10 was just doing a better job of saving my ass. I don't know what's going on there. But I do know that it's working. I got it working. Happy about that. All right, we're working on our boot here. We got some boot working on here. So let's see. Oh, and did lose. Okay, we're back. My apologies. Sorry, everybody. If you're watching this VOD on YouTube or you're on Twitch, nothing went wrong. You're okay. Some news from the world of video games. We've got like good stuff and bad stuff. And we'll, oh, and I'm KPBS are dropping again. It happened again. It could happen to you. It's happening to me. Fuck. Okay. Nope, no. Wow, it usually just bounces right back and it isn't like a nightmare. And right now it's going through some stuff. I wonder if it's where I'm streaming to. I wonder if this is a Georgia problem. Atlanta problem. Anyway, we'll power through and hope that everything's fucking cool. So put that there. A couple gaming stories here. We've got an unembrace, everybody. The mobile game studio Easy Brain has divested from Embracer. Miniclip will be the new owner. It's a rough time for everybody, even internet connections. Yes, Lord Crashington, even internet connections are having it rough. Yeah, I gotta like refresh everything. It's been a while. This was low priority, but I gotta like reconnect my wireless booster and all that, and like redo all of those things. So we'll see how that goes. But I do need to do that. I put this on the wrong spot. I'm going to use my brick separator to get this where it needs to be. But yes, so Embracer has divested of a bunch of places over the last 12 months, including Easy Brain, who are now out of the Embrace. It's an all-cash transaction, $1.2 billion to Miniclip. They've only been Embraced for 3 years. But apparently, so this is a fun thing, because this is what happens when you just start selling stuff. Easy Brain made them a bunch of money so they could make money by selling it. But also, Easy Brain made them a bunch of money, so now they're not going to get that money from Easy Brain because they're not going to own Easy Brain anymore. So it's like, all right. Good fucking luck. And of course they got investors, so they got to be like, yeah, this is going to be good for us. Now, if you're like, hey, Pat, what does Easy Brain own? Sudoku.com. So, yeah, they make money. They make money for people. They made money for Embracer. Now they're going to make money for Miniclip. But yeah, that's long term not good. Short term might be okay for Embracer. Let's see. Do we have any other good news? No, that's not good. No, that's not good. There was a 1-day strike, which is generally when you see 1-day strikes, that is a, hey, this could get fucking worse for you kind of a threat. Hundreds of ZeniMax studio employees struck for their 1 day. They're fighting the, which I talked about. I shouldn't say report on. I talked about basically their return to office is very limited. But they have been reportedly, again, according to the ZeniMax workers, that ZeniMax and by extension Microsoft have been unwilling and unable to meet in good faith about actually allowing people to work from home in their scheduled hours and all of that. And then also part of that is also like, hey, while we're at it, stop fucking outsourcing so many jobs for the industry that we're in. This part of it, that being quality assurance. They've raised concerns. Recent unilateral decision to outsource quality assurance threatens job security. Let's see. Yep. So we'll see. That was a 1 day of action. We'll see if that leads to anything else. But right now, ugh, hopefully we don't see strikes there, or if we do, hopefully Microsoft just fucking caves to pressure. That would be nice. Okay, so I want to talk about this briefly. I'm not going to get into too much detail on this. Nintendo Japan's customer service, their Twitter account, often puts out statements that are based on, you have to assume things that they didn't think they'd have to say, but because of people calling in and making like requests for replacement, all that, they have to say. So they put out a statement that basically was just like, hey, pet urine could cause damage to electronics. Which, yes, but also apparently they hadn't explicitly said that. So now they are saying that. Again, this Nintendo support, which warns pet owners against leaving their Nintendo Switch unsupervised around their animals. When you take your eyes off it, your pet turns your Nintendo Switch into a toy. By the time you notice, it's already covered in drool. Pet saliva and urine can cause the device to malfunction due to water exposure. So it's not just it's the water part of it. If you have pets, be careful when you place where you place your Switch. But basically, I've been dipping mine in dog piss for years. Yeah, you're right. So why did they put the statement out? Well, generally, these sorts of statements come out because they've had a number of... It becomes a frequently asked question. And so they feel the need to say it. And then also, it's so that if there is a class action lawsuit that, hey, my pet damaged my Switch and it should be covered under warranty, they can be like, well, we warned you to be careful about that. Which, who knows? But that seems to be what's going on here. There you go. People are being flippant about it, but generally those statements come out because they're like, well, I guess we gotta fucking tell people not to do this dumb stuff. Which is frustrating, but that seems to be where we're at there. And now, layoffs and closures. Sorry. Payload Studios laid off a quarter of their staff about 3 months ago, and more layoffs are continuing. Last week, a couple happened, and now we know it's actually 8 people. And they knew for a month that they would be let go. They are not getting any redundancy. They're not getting any packages. They basically got a month knowing that they'd get laid off. Like they got the end date, basically, which sucks. No severance. The CEO and co-founder Russell Clark told Game Industry that layoffs did happen, but didn't say the numbers. This numbers came from news to GameIndustry.biz. Basically, he said, hey, a project we were working on fell through and we didn't get the money on it out of nowhere. And so we got to do what we can. But since the reporting from GameIndustry.biz was like, and they're not getting a severance, the CEO is like, actually, all the ending dates and anything like that are still being ironed out. So, well, hopefully they will. And also, one of the people laid off was another co-founder. So that's not a great sign for a studio if one of the co-founders gets laid off. That's, I would say, a bad sign. In more bad news, Thunderful is restructuring its publishing division and cutting even more jobs. It is laying off between 80 to 100 workers, and this is their second round of layoffs. They did in January, and this is the second round of it. And they're also canceling some games, apparently. They're going to reduce investment in internal game projects to increase focus on third-party publishing. So basically, they're going to stop making as many of their own games, which led to layoffs because now they don't need as many people working on games. And they're going to put more emphasis on their third-party releases and all that. So they're restructuring their own internal publishing, which, you know, I don't know their business. That could make a lot of sense. And of course, they have investors, so they had to put out a statement of investors. And if you don't know, they published the Steam World games. But yeah, they had to make an announcement to investors, and they're like, "This could save us between $5 and $6 million." But also will cost them $25 to $30 million in SEK. I don't know the trend. Let's see. It's going to cost them like hundreds of thousands of dollars to save sums of millions of dollars, basically. But it's like, that's short term. And yeah, it's cost-saving measures. And it's bad. Tequila Works is filing for insolvency. All of the founders have stepped down. This looks to be the end of Tequila Works. Basically, all of them stepping down means that they will be taking lower paid jobs in the transition. It's part of it. Ask me anything. Don't ask me anything about insolvency. I'm not great on this stuff. This is not in my wheelhouse. They had some layoffs in October because they had a project that got canceled on them. And yeah, basically the COO is now the general manager and put out a statement. They're out of Madrid. And they are not owned by Tencent, but Tencent had a major investment, and it's probably clear that Tencent didn't decide to step in and outright buy them, which would probably have been their like last gasp. But yeah, I would say a lot of Deadlight Rhine, Song of Nunu, a lot of the bets they made were probably good bets at the time, but didn't pay off. They put out a spin-off game for League of Legends. Turns out League people just want to play League and don't really want to dive in to other things, seems like. And then they had an exclusive for Stadia, which they ported to the Switch and apparently did pretty well, but not well enough. But also, you're like, oh, that was a dumb move doing a Stadia game, but it's like, if it kept the studio afloat, if they took Google money, and then they were able to port it, like that was at the time probably the right call. It's probably the way to go. But it's, it ain't great. It's a bummer. A lot of this stuff really sucks. I have never used Freevee, but I know plenty of people that watch a lot of these, like Pluto and Freevee and these free to, with ads services. Again, it's not my jam, but I know plenty of people that it is their jam. Freevee is ending. Amazon is closing it, and some of the content will show up on Amazon Prime, and some of the content on Amazon Prime will be free because of content deals. So some stuff you will be able to watch without having Amazon Prime, but a lot of it will probably just be on Amazon Prime, and just that's how you watch it. But yeah, seemingly there's some content deals that would keep that stuff free. It was apparently Freevee. I didn't not know this. Freevee launched as a spin-off of IMDb. It's like, oh, okay. And they had some original programming as well. Amazon decided to look at the cost of it. They're going to move some of the employees in programming to Prime Video. And like some shows have to remain in a free format, so then they're going to figure out how to do that on the website, because they're not, that's not necessarily how Amazon Prime works. And then apparently, Amazon, it's one of those things where like so again, they changed the name of the IMDb TV service to Freevee. Yes, which is what we're talking about. We're talking about Freevee. I didn't realize that, but I didn't realize that was, an offshoot of IMDb. That was Amazon. This is according to sources that one of the reasons why this is happening is to save money, because Amazon spent a lot of money on expensive original programming for Prime that didn't necessarily translate to people sticking with Prime or getting Prime or enough. It didn't apparently, reportedly anyway, it didn't move the needle enough. So now Amazon has been looking at cost-cutting measures, and apparently running that service they'll save some money by not doing it. But yeah, they've cut a lot of stuff. Pluto TV, Roku's Roku channel, and Tubi seem to all be going some strong. Apparently, Tubi does very well for itself. It is a low overhead, but apparently people watch the ads for that. That stream of supermarket sweep was really bankrupting the company. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, was that actually costing them that much money, especially if they stopped doing any original programming and were just running what they had? Who knows? A lot of times these things actually don't save them money. It just saves them it saves them in their minds. It saves them future money, because they're like, well, we're going to cut this off, and then we're not going to waste any time or energy on it. And it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do what else are you going to do? It's like, oh, we haven't gotten that far yet. We've got some ideas in the hopper. But yeah, Freevee is going to close down. One less place to watch ads that you didn't want to watch, but you were watching. Blaring ads for car dealerships that are way too loud. And why is this happening right now? Who came up with this idea? Why are we doing this? Hey, do you want to play Unreal, or maybe Unreal Tournament? Do you have an interest in Unreal or Unreal Tournament? Because if you do, you can just get them from the Internet Archive, and Epic isn't going to be mad at you. There's instructions how to do it, and how to the old Unreal group announced the move. Yeah. And has instructions on how to play it and all of that, but you can find them there. It's pretty cool that you can just do that if you wanted to. If you want to play those games, you can just download them off Internet Archive. I just think that's neat. I'm kind of just including that. Once I've gotten a handle on all of my computer stuff, I'm definitely going to grab those. And I don't know. I mean, I might play a little Unreal Tournament. Why the fuck not? This is just cool. It's also very funny because this is a Kotaku article, and they're like, okay, if you want to play Unreal, here is the link to go and download it at another place. If you can just download it here. And download Unreal_gold.zip. And I promise, and the article's like, I promise you this is okay. And that will pull the ISO files from the Internet Archive and install them on your machine. So basically, who's got this? oldunreal.com has like a thing that'll just make it work for you. And that also, you can do that for Unreal Tournament. And they are just like programs that will go and grab it off Internet Explorer, or Internet Archive, I should say, and get it running. All right, we are almost done with our boot here, and then we got to build the flowers that go on top of the boot, and then we will disassemble the boot, and then we'll start working on the watering can, the main build, and don't download other free versions. Yeah, download these because it's cool. It'll work for you. Yeah, that's just cool. And a good way to make use of Internet Archive, who are still doing the work. They are doing that work. There's some trailers out there for Ghostface, which is coming out. Missed the Halloween window, but who cares? Coming to Mortal Kombat 1. It's Ghostface. But apparently, there are multiple different Ghostface, and there are Mortal Kombat characters underneath the mask, apparently. So let's see here. Stephanie Brownback said, Jack of all trades that works alongside two other mask killers to pull off various movie moves and fatalities. The main Ghostface you play has been transported. Oh, because there's the cameo system where you can have helpers. Apparently, the helpers you can have are also people dressed as Ghostface, and those two people that are dressed as Ghostface are characters from Mortal Kombat, which is a weird thing that it took me a little while to wrap my head around that one, but that's neat. It's kind of a fun thing. But apparently, they are from Kano's Black Dragon clan. Black Dragon Enforcer and Black Dragon Assassin. And the devs know who they are, but they're not going to say yet. But then people will know. People will know soon. But they could be just like kind of minor characters. This article on Kotaku is just like, is it Kira from the PlayStation 2 games or Jarek? That was referenced in Mortal Kombat 1. But yeah, they'll know. November 26th, you get Ghostface. But if you spent money on the collector's edition or the premium version, if you spent a bunch of money before the game came out, you get it early. So you get it on the 19th. If you're an MKer doing your thing with the Mortal Kombats. Get some Ghostface. There was DLC for WW 2K24, the final DLC pack came out. It is the WCW pack. We will take a look at that in December. I don't know when in December, but we will do that. I know we won't get to it this month. My next 2 gaming streams are next Tuesday. I will be doing Pokemon Black. And the following week, the game was on sale, and I got this cool diorama game. Let me look up the name of it. It was in my wish list, and it was on sale. The idea is that it's pretty inexpensive as it is, and then you get like extra stuff that is all pretty expensive. So it's like the base game is cheap, and then you can just buy more DLC of stuff. What is it called? Here it is. What is the name of this game? Diorama Builder is the name of the game. Diorama Builder is what we will be looking at the last Tuesday of the month. That'll be Thanksgiving week on the 27th. We will take a look-see. And I hope people hang out for that because it looked neat. And like I said, it was on sale on Steam. So I was like, oh, I'll get this. This looks cool. Was looking for something new. And then December, I don't know when we're going to do it, but 1 week in December, because there's 5 Tuesdays in December, so I'll have the time to do it. I'm going to look at the update to, because I even downloaded it on this new, this new install. I fucking swear to God, at some goddamn point, wait, I need, sorry. Okay, so then it goes there. At some goddamn point, I am going to play Mars First Logistics and the update for Trains and Roads that came out like in the fall, maybe in the summer. I don't know. It's been a fucking while, and I haven't looked at it, so I got to do that. So we'll do that. We'll get to that next month, I guess. I was gonna look at it last month, and then instead we did the pumpkin carving game. And then I was going to do it this month, but then I saw the diorama thing, and I was like, that looks cool as hell. So I want to do that. All right, we are almost done with our boot, and then we got to do some flowers. So I'll work on this boot here in a moment. But what's up right now, Pat? Oh, that's right. It's the Pause for the Cause. It's my opportunity to talk to you about ways you can support what I do here. Everything I'm going to talk to you about is optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to, I love it. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, please, at this time, throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. So if you can, I would love that. Move this here. Yeah, I'm big. I'm bigger than I used to be in the intro, but I like it. And I'm going to do one other quick thing here, and then we'll talk about other ways you can support me here. But I'm going to go back to the where am I? Use a webcam. There I am. I'm going to go back to broadcast remover and use quality mode because it didn't affect my CPU usage. So it's something else that is affecting my CPU usage, which is fine. I'll deal with it. But yeah, being a subscriber, you don't see ads during the stream. You don't see pre-roll ads when you come and join to watch. You get some cool emotes. I make a little bit of money. It's nice. If you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you could do that because there's nobody has gifted a sub this month. Also, nobody gifted a sub in October. We had a bunch of gift subs in September, which was wonderful. But yeah, nothing this month. So if you want to gift a sub, be the first person to do that. That would be great. Bits and coins always appreciated. If you want to join the cheerleader board, that would be cool too. We are currently at 25 subscribers. The goal, the goal is to get to 40. I shut up at 40. So if you want to become a subscriber, become a subscriber. There are other ways to support what I do here, and I will talk about those now, and I will try to go fast through them. You can always go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. Also, I've got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Pat Baer. Over my YouTube, you can become a subscriber. Subscribing is free, of course. If you want to become a member, that's $2 a month. Over there, if you want to jump in on that, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that everyone watched yesterday, because everyone watched it yesterday, right? But the went live yesterday, you would have been able to watch that on Tuesday. So consider joining me over there. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you want to do a one-time donation of a dollar or $2 or $4 or $5 or $7, you can go to my PayPal directly or my Ko-Fi if you'd rather do that. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out. Through Patreon, through Twitch, all goes into a fund. I take money out of that fund and I buy model kits and Lego sets. I've got a backlog of stuff. I just got a couple new things coming into the backlog that I'm excited about. What was I going to say? I had something else to say. Oh, I'm currently working on this. This Lego set was purchased off my Amazon wish list, which is just so kind. And if you also would like to buy something on my wish list, then you also would have an object that would jump the queue and be the next thing that I build. You get a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased, my eternal gratitude, and also jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I put together, because that's the least I could do. I got Lego sets, I got model kits, I have inexpensive kits, I have expensive kits. I want to shout out a thing I just put on my wish list today. Where is it? Recently I put up the Gundam Astray Blue Frame 2nd L. I've built a blue frame before. This is the version 2, and it's got a big weapon that can become a big backpack. And I think it looks neat. So that recently got out of the list. Also, there is a knockoff Lego called from Vizimo, and Vizimo made a is apparently compatible with Nano, so it's going to be small. It is not a Lego knockoff, it is a Nanoblocks knockoff, I should say. But it's an arcade cabinet, and inside of it, it looks like it's definitely just a Street Fighter game that they did, but it's the whole cabinet. It's going to be a nightmare because Nanoblocks are tiny, but I've never seen a company do knockoff Nano, so I kind of want to see what that fucking is. So I put that on the wish list, and the Mighty Strike Freedom from the movie is there as well, from Gundam Seed Freedom. So it's a few new things added to the wish list. If there's something that you see there that you'd love to see me build, consider purchasing it so that I can build it. Get me an early Christmas gift if you want to. You don't have to, of course. And there's some gear at the bottom, including some big, expensive looking light bulbs that I would like to see if that would work better than the light bulb I have here. You don't have to do any of this stuff. But if you want to buy something for me to build, that would be great. A couple other things for you to check out here. My alternative to Amazon is my Throne wish list. Consider jumping on Throne, seeing what I'm doing over there. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. They will send you a gift card code. You can take that gift card code, and then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or on Blue Sky or Mastodon. My Blue Sky is fucking blowing up. I got added to a streamers who are over 30 starter pack, and a bunch of people have followed me for that. And that was cool as hell. So I've gotten a bunch of new people following and what I'm doing over there. Blue Sky is a place that more and more people seem to be landing. If you're not on Blue Sky, I don't know, it's not bad. I've been there since invites were a thing you needed, and it's not terrible. I don't know. I don't have bad things to say about Blue Sky, I guess. Let's see. If you want to support me and not spend any money, you can join my Discord. My Discord is a cool place for people to hang out. You're more than welcome to hang out there. Let's see. Video links for you to check out. A better anti-Nazi platform. Indeed, Lord Crashington. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, sorry for that. Pat Baer's Anime Club, ongoing video series where I talk about stuff that's exciting to me. I recommended some stuff from the fall 2024 season. So it's stuff that's on airing right now that I've been enjoying. Maybe you want to watch it. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. And this month, I'm talking about shows that I slept on, anime that I think is fantastic, that I just didn't give a fair shake to when it first started airing. And I'm going to talk about, in this one, I talked about Haikyuu, the volleyball boys anime, the phenomenal series that I love so much. I love my volleyball boys. Lots of heart, lots of grit in that one. I say I don't like sports anime, but then sometimes there's a really good sports anime, and turns out I like some sports anime. And I really like Haikyuu. So I talk about it, and you watch a minute long video of me talking about it. All right, I am going to talk about 2 episodes of anime. That's right, I got caught up on a show. I was a week behind on I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes in History, but I have now caught up on that. And we'll talk about the 2 episodes. I won't go into super detail, but we'll talk about it there. And also, before I do that, I need to dramatically transition to the overhead camera again. I gotta move my keyboard out of the way. And drink some water. And we all get to hear the new dramatic transition song right now. Okay. So now I know that the transition to the overhead, I think, is fine. The music cuts out too soon. So now I need to go in and check that. I got to go into the Stream Deck software and go and find that, and then fiddle with it and make it last longer, make a longer delay before the song stops, which I should be able to do. But again, I did a dry run of it because I didn't have any water in my glass when I went to go find out if it was working or not. All right, so, but it worked, and that's important to me, that all of this works, that I get all my sound effects work. Yeah. Then also I can fade out the applause. The applause, the cha-ching, and the yeah are all the same. Dramatic is a different song because, again, I could not figure out what the original one was. And then the dance song is the same as it was previously because I managed to figure that out. All right, so I need 8 of these, 5 of these, 2 of these. I'm using not all, but a lot of the yellow that I had here. And then I need 8 of these. So 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I need 5 of these here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of those. Great. All right. Now let's start putting this together, which is the other side of the boot. Get that together. All right, now I'm going to talk to you about an anime, 2 episodes that I watched, episodes 6 and 7 of I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History. Again, I was a week behind on this show, but I've caught up, and I'm excited to talk to you about it. Here we go. Alicia got kidnapped at the end of episode 5. This is not necessarily uncommon for people of nobility. Also, reminder that a lot of people in school don't like her but not so in her mind it's because she's a true villainess, but it seems like the people that love that go out of their way to really love and respect the Saintess are a little gung-ho about it. They're a little too gung-ho about Liz. Anyway, Alicia got kidnapped. There is her guy, Gil, has also been kidnapped. She wakes up. They're considering killing Gil. She's been restrained, but our girl, also her magic has been restrained because Alicia is no joke when it comes to magic, but she's also no joke when it comes to physical attacks, which they find out because Alicia, in finding out they're thinking of killing Gil, breaks her out of confinement, fights the kidnappers, even while she's tied up. One kidnapper runs away. She doesn't kill anyone. Because she wants to know information about why this happened. They flee, or one of the kidnappers flees, and Alicia chases them down to incapacitate him, but then Liz shows up. And Liz, of course, knows healing magic and all that, and she's like, fucking says some real dumb shit. She says some real dumb shit about, like, violence isn't the answer. I was gonna show up and save you, so you did all of this was unnecessary. And it's like, yeah, well, Gil was about to get killed. And she's just like, no, I would have saved him. Like, it seems like, oh, actually, this girl has a screw loose. Oh, that's not great. So Liz shows up and starts restraining Alicia, which leads the kidnapper to almost stab Alicia, if not for the intervention of the prince. And Liz just kind of no-sells, thinking that was bad. Liz blames Alicia for this escalating, even when she was about to die. This enrages the prince, who's again, his name is Prince Duke. Also, he sucks, and we'll have more information about him sucking in this episode. He sucks ass. But he is enraged on behalf, and he's about to fight Liz, but is basically settled down. But it almost escalates to a fight. Let's see. Alicia goes to the infirmary, and Alicia wakes up. Again, Alicia is 13. Just going to say, Alicia's 13 at this point. She wakes up from exhaustion, and mana deficiency and all that, to find Prince Duke in bed with her, and he is putting the fucking moves on her. Now, you could say, like, oh, well, he almost lost her, and he realizes how much she means to him and all that. Well, he's never said any of that shit, and also, fuck off. I hate this guy. He's been a creep for years, and I hate Prince Duke. He sucks. But she pushes him out of bed, because he's trying to kiss her. They get interrupted by Gil showing up. Also, Gil and Duke are, like, friendly, and I don't like that either. Gil wants to become stronger because he feels like he failed her in the kidnapping. And hey, guess what? They kind of know who did it. And apparently, the king knew that this shit was happening, and he let it happen because he was hoping that it was going to allow for Alicia, or for Liz, to gain experience as the Saintess. Apparently, he did not predict that Alicia would free herself from this problem, which is fucked up. It's very fucked up. Jill's going to become stronger. And basically, Alicia's dad is like, at the end of the episode 6, Alicia's dad is like, hey, so you got to quit this job. You got to stop being her watcher. I don't want you to have anything to do with this girl. And Alicia is just like, no, I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to prove to you that I could be strong enough to stand up to anything that she throws at me. I'm going to go into training and seclusion, and I am going to become a level 90 mage, which is just, level 80 is like already ridiculous. She's on her way to become the strongest person ever, basically, which is a wild, it's probably her processing the, what happened there, but yeah. And I know some people, when I say I hate fucking the Duke, some people say, like, well, he's just kind of villainous to match her villainous. And it's like, she's not villainous, though. That's the fucking joke of it, is that she's not a villainous. She's a good girl with a weird idea of what it means to be a villain, and she's too pure for it. She may act like a villain sometimes, but she's not really even acting like it. She says she wants to act like a villainess. He actually sucks. So apparently, this is basically an episode that it kind of focuses on Gil's point of view, because Alicia has been training in seclusion and not talking to anybody, and we don't see her till the end of the episode 7. But it's just her going about and doing her thing to try to get stronger. So I need 2 of these. I need 4 of these. I need 2 of those, 2 of those, and 2 of these here. All right. Alicia's father talks to Gil about what's going on there, and basically, like, I can't stop her from her own ambitions. I've tried to before. For her own safety, I don't want her to become a level 90 mage, but I know I can't stop him. Basically, even if they aren't that close, he's still a good father to this daughter of his. We see some stuff in the village that Alicia has been attempting to help. They had a harvest. She showed them the kind of potatoes that could grow in their climate and survive, and then someone tries to steal those potatoes. And Nate, who is the strongest fighter, stops the thief. And Nate doesn't trust nobility, and he definitely doesn't trust Alicia, but he does realize that Alicia is like their best bet at survival. So he's willing to work with her. All right, we're almost done here. Now we got to do some flowers. We're putting some stuff on our flowers. This is a soil this is turning an old boot into a planter. There's soil and some flowers coming out of it, which I like. I like the look of this. And then got to build another flower that we'll put on here. This lovely, goddamn lovely blue. Both of these blues are great looking. And then I need 4, 1 of these, and then 4 of these. Let's see. Yeah, the king and Prince Duke talk about Alicia. And they're talking about how to help with that part of the country that Alicia has been spearheading. And they're basically like, so even though they put her at risk in order to have their saint get experience, they do realize that, like, hey, Alicia is it would be a waste if we don't, like, put her in a high ranking position in the country. Like, we can't risk her leaving the country at all. And of course the prince has eyes on her, seemingly. 6 months later, the prince has been using his familiar to investigate what's going on in the school because he thinks something's up. Henry and his brother also meet, and then another student that we don't know the name of. And they're wondering, like, where do these rumors about, because, like, Alicia is supposed to be the villainess, and there are rumors about her doing villainous things, but she doesn't do villainous things as much as she hasn't even been in the school. So someone's spreading rumors about her, and we don't know what's coming up with that. And the prince is suspecting that Liz has some sort of device or magic that is brainwashing people. And then after that time, we fast forward even farther. We are at the end of the episode. It has been 2 years. She went into seclusion at age 13. She comes out at seclusion at age 15. And Alicia comes out a level 90 mage. She is now unbelievably strong, apparently. What does this mean? Who knows? So, conjecture. I have not read this manga. I'm only watching the anime. My gut says that it is either a thing that Alicia does not, or Liz does not know that she is doing, that, like, the story is trying to progress. We've seen that in level 99 Demon Lord or Villainess. Yes, she's got an OP build. Well, yeah, your villainous needs to be strong so that the Saintess can overcome it. Your main antagonist needs to be real strong. But it feels like maybe this is like Villainous level 99, where the story of the Otome game is trying to push things along. Fate is trying to intervene. Could be that. It could be that Liz is another reincarnated isekai character. This could be a double isekai story. We've certainly seen a bunch of that in these kinds of stories as well. So it could be that. It could be that she's just a girl from another girl there. And so she is, because the story has changed, because Alicia is playing by a different set of rules, then perhaps Liz is trying to counteract that using her abilities to counteract those things. I mean, that's, again, conjecture. I don't know. But I am interested in it. Also, I should say, I didn't say episode 6. Hey, Alicia whipped a lot of fucking ass. That's a great action scene. This show hasn't had a lot of action, and it was really good. Alicia is when she needs to be, and we have not seen a lot of it other than, and besides being great at magic, she's also been training herself in combat and stuff like that, because she wanted to be well-rounded. She's fucking good at it, and it was fun to watch her be good at it. And that's the end of me talking about the anime that I've been watching. I am still an episode behind of Ranma 1/2. I do have plans. I believe next Monday I will talk about both episodes of Ranma 1/2 that I missed. But I'm still enjoying that series. We did get a new character showing up in the last episode that was fun. So I will talk more about that when the time comes. But not at the moment. And then Saturday I will talk about Dan to Dan, because I definitely did not have time to watch today's Dan to Dan, and I will talk about Dragon Ball Daima, which I am committed to continue to watch. Dragon Ball Daima, even if I was not super in love with, I'm still not, I don't know, I'm warming up to it. It still hasn't really hit me hard. Pansy, the introduction of Pansy was very good for me to kind of be like, okay, well, I like this character, so now I'm a little more invested because she's pretty cool. I like to see her do more cool stuff. Okay, so then this is gonna go here. Yeah, goes like that. Yeah. All right. All right, we are almost done with this. We've just got a couple of pedals left to build here, and then I will just start disassembling while I am getting this thing together. Sorry, I had the wrong color purple. I was like, why can't I find these pieces? Because I was looking at the wrong color. I need these pieces of purple. That and that. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I always like to hear from you about what you got going on, because it's always fun for me to know. While I give you time to write into chat about what you're up to and what you're into, I will tell you, friends, that I currently am super engaged with. I just finished up today, as a little treat for getting my computer stuff done. I finished up the Shrek pack for Power Wash Simulator. I streamed it on Tuesday, finished it up today. That is a fun bit of business. I think the last stage, the Dragon Horde, was my favorite. I think the factory is too big. In general, the factory was fine, but kind of annoying to build, because it didn't have cool nooks and crannies or cool spots, whereas at least the Dragon Horde, you were unveiling different gems and jewels and pirate treasure, or not sure, buried treasure and stuff like that. It was not pirate treasure, but it was fun, and I think that was probably my favorite. I did like the honeymoon suite, because I love the idea of a gingerbread house that is for your honeymoon. That is a fun bit of business. Again, Shrek has no. I am not beholden to Shrek at all, but I can appreciate that was a fun pack. So I would recommend it if you already have Power Wash Simulator. If you don't have Power Wash Simulator, I don't know if this would be the thing that would push you over, but it's pretty cool. So maybe consider. And now I have finished the second of 3 builds for this. So I'm going to take a photo. I'll show you here. Then I'm going to take a photo. This is the boot. I like the boot here because it's not full there. It's good looking boot. Good looking Lego boot. And then the flowers coming out of it. Using it for a pot. That's fun. I do like the band back here. Good use of this. This is a good second build. And yeah, I think this looks great. Did I knock over a Lego? No. I moved a Lego, but I didn't knock over a Lego. Hooray. Hooray. Okay. So now I need to take a photo of this. I wonder why they made the flower stems clear. My guess is, Lashbrook, is these stems are used. No, these stems are going to be used here. Yeah, I don't know why they did clear stems, because they're also in the watering can, because it's just a different version of this, the watering can. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did the clear stems. Just parts they already had for something else, But before we get into building the third thing, the main thing, the watering can, I do need to disassemble this. But before I disassemble it, I need to take a photo. So I still want to hear what you're up to, what you're into, what you're working on, if you're building anything, you're doing anything, you're watching any movies, playing any games. Hearthstone, I have a deck that I'm enjoying right now. I have an Announced Darkness deck. It's a terrible deck. It's not good, but I enjoy it. It is the idea of it is, I'm going to take 2 photos of this, I think. I'm going to side there, and then I'm going to go like this. Yeah. Get some definition. There are 2, and now we're going to disassemble. I finished it, and now we're disassembling it. And I'm just going to do by color. What was I saying here? Yeah, I got a new deck, Announced Darkness deck. It replaces all of my cards in my deck. Renounced Darkness is an old card where you would replace all your cards in your deck with cards that from another class, and everything cost 1 less. That's Renounced Darkness. Announced Darkness is a play on Renounced Darkness, where every card in your deck that is not a Warlock card gets replaced with a Warlock card that cost 1 less, and your hero power it cost 1. And so that's a fun way to just play a bunch of Warlock cards, because my deck is mostly the only Warlock cards in my deck are Warlock cards that draw shadow spells, and because Announced Darkness is a shadow spell. So it's just a little bit of that, and then it's just a bunch of cards that stall. The idea is that they stall out. These are cards that are going to be getting you what you need there. Other than that, what have I been doing? Catching up on anime. I have been watching a lot of Desert Bus. I watched a bunch of Desert Bus today. They are wrapping up sometime late tonight / tomorrow. So we will raid tonight. We'll raid Desert Bus after this. But we'll be small. There'll be a small crew to raid Desert Bus. We will raid Desert Bus because we can, and then we'll hang out with the old Desert Bus folks, because that'll be a good time. And then when that's done, this weekend, this Saturday, we'll go back to raiding people I know that are not doing that. So yeah, I caught up on that. Watching some Hololive stuff. There's a fun Liar's game? So there is a card game that is a 4-person game where you can play with strangers, and you have audio, or you can just do hand gestures, but you have avatars, and it's Russian roulette meets high card, where you have like a portion of a deck or several decks of cards, and then you basically like, it's like, oh, in this round, queens, and you have to put down queens. And so you say, I'm putting down 1 queen. And the person next to you can call bullshit. And if you didn't have a queen there, then you play Russian roulette. You've got a 6-shooter, one of them, there's a bullet in one of them. But if your opponent is wrong and you did have 1 queen, then they do Russian roulette, and it goes until there's only 1 person left. And every time there is a challenge, even if it is like no matter what, and even if someone doesn't die, because obviously it's Russian roulette, you go to the next person. So it's like, it's meant for friends to play or to play with strangers. And I was watching some VTubers play, which was fun because it's just like people I like playing a game that I wouldn't necessarily get into myself, but they're having fun with it. And it was just like, I don't know. It was a fun bit of business. I was watching an archive of that today in between things. I like that. Lashbrook says, I've been spending the week catching up on other streams. I did watch the Last Witch Hunter yesterday, and that movie is just some dumb fun. CGI holds up surprisingly well. Also, Lord Crashington, Lashbrook, beat Circle of the Moon and ended up getting Glad You 100%ing it because it came in helpful for the final fight. Well, that's good to know. I know that you were like kind of maybe second guessing yourself about that, but I'm glad that it benefited you in the long run. You're playing Harmony of Dissonance for the first time now and liking it a lot less. I remember not really enjoying Harmony of Dissonance. It's been a long time since I played Harmony of Dissonance, but I remember not really liking it. So I think I eventually enjoyed it by the end of it, but it was a lot of me being like, but I did finish it. Lord Crashington says, been watching more of this One Piece arc as Usopp finally beat the Ghost Princess that he freaked out with his negative personality. Yes. You can't you can't like add in negativity and exploit negativity in a person who is already so negative. At least one person has their shadow back, and now the crew is facing the Luffy zombie. Oh god, that is a good time. That Luffy zombie is a good time. There was a funny bit where Sanji claims he has a dream to get the clear fruit for the good of mankind, but his inner self keeps yelling that it was to see naked girls. Yes. Sanji is so mad that an invisible man would kidnap Nami and wanting to marry Nami and be a creep. But really, he just is mad that someone found the clear fruit. A guy who does not have a devil fruit and has never claimed to want one. One of the major elements of One Piece that is cool is that for much of the series, the second and third strongest Straw Hats do not have devil fruit abilities. Now, you could argue, there could be an argument made that because she's an awakened user, that Robin is actually stronger than Sanji. That's later. Sanji does certainly get stronger. Did I get disconnected here? But we're coming back. Looks like we're coming back. So my apologies. Looks like we're coming back. Sorry, everybody. You could argue that at some point, but really, let's say the second and third strongest Straw Hats for much of the series. And then later, another guy who is, in my opinion, inarguably stronger than Sanji, that is a Straw Hat, also doesn't have a devil fruit power. And that's just a cool element that doesn't give them suddenly an advantage over other people. Having a devil fruit. It's cool. Because One Piece One Piece has always been about people and devil fruits, but at a certain point, it really does become like, who's the next devil fruit user to show up and be fucking annoying / devastating / cool as hell. So it is fun when there are strong characters that are not devil fruit users. Obviously, the greatest swordsman in the in One Piece is not a devil fruit user. Yeah, all right. If there's anything else y'all are up to or into, I'd love to hear it. For me this weekend, I will have a D&D. It won't be it. Yeah, it will be D&D. It'll be a little D&D one shot that I am hanging out with some people. Always enjoy that. This is with my crew, or the collective that I'm a part of, the One Shot Collective. We'll be doing a D&D campaign that I am taking part in, where I do not know the character I'm playing. It will be randomized. The GM, I'm sorry, is testing this. Of course, there will be a DM for this. They are testing out the idea of doing one-shots with people where you don't know going into it anything about what's going on, and you kind of uncover your characters as we go in. I don't know if we have amnesia or what, but apparently as we're playing, we will learn more about our characters and then see if some of our choices make sense and all that. It'll be an interesting exercise at the very least. I don't know if it'll be successful or super fun, but it'll be interesting, and I am interested in interesting. I didn't mean for that to sound the way it did, but that's how it came out. One weird thing I had to look up in Harmony is there are no breakable walls in a Castlevania. A Castlevania with no breakable walls. I forgot. Look, again, I know I played that game. I'm fairly confident I beat that game. That is strange. Yeah, that's a weird bit of business. You're definitely right. You got Lord Crashing got the Rise of the Golden Idol, and you're in Chapter 2, which has been great so far. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I have heard good things from my friends that are super into that. The ties it has to the first game story are neat, and they made the UI a bit easier to manage. That's awesome. That's very cool. Again, my plans are going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to finish up some stuff about this. I am going to redo the connection I have with my wireless router. I'm going to attempt to get that in a better set, because that might be one of the reasons why we have those drops there. Might be an issue with my my wireless router. It could be an issue, which is great to have separate problems, but that could be what's going on with some of this. But also, it's totally possible that like my Wi-Fi booster just needs to get refreshed, because it hasn't been refreshed in a while. So I wouldn't mind refreshing that and trying to get that to be a nice little solid connection. But I haven't like done a full like modem and wireless router, like unplugged from the wall, unplugged from the cable. I haven't done that in a while, so I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. I'm also going to experiment with just seeing like, hey, I'll do a test stream. Like, how's a long test stream look with just the Wi-Fi, without the Wi-Fi booster? I love the Wi-Fi booster, but like, let me experiment with that. Let me see how that works without it, if that's going to get me a better stable connection. So I'm gonna experiment with that tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it won't go bad. That, as always, that is one of the goals, is for things to go well. I enjoyed this build. I'm looking forward to doing the watering can, the main part of the build that of course we have not gotten to yet. So I am looking forward to doing that, because that should be quite fun. I will, if I don't finish knolling by the end of tonight's stream, I will do it on my own time, so that I am not taking up anyone's precious time tomorrow, or on Saturday, I should say. But yeah, the next stream is on Saturday. I will have a new streaming schedule up tomorrow. I am streaming on Thanksgiving. I am not streaming on November 23rd. November 23rd, which is AEW Full Gear. I am going to take the stream off so I can watch that, because I like watching wrestling. And my old buddy Orange Cassidy is in the main event, challenging for the AW title, and I would like to see that as it happens. Can't guarantee that it will work out for my boy, but I do want to go and support him. In fact, I do not think that he is going to pull off an upset victory there. I don't think so. I think he's going to have a great showing, and then he's going to fall short, because it would be weird if Jon Moxley lost the belt this soon, in my opinion. I think a babyface that the crowd isn't as into is going to do it. And by that, I mean Darby Allin. I think Darby Allin, who lost to Moxley, and by losing to Moxley, gave Moxley the opportunity to destroy Bryan Danielson. That Darby's big comeback win against him is going to be the thing that they're going to do, even if that is, to me, not as interesting as Orange Cassidy being the AEW World Champion, which would be fucking cool as hell. But again, don't expect that. Lord Crafton says, I did like Chopper trying to do a huge suplex on the Evil Doctor, but got interrupted by the Luffy zombie. Yes. Chopper sometimes tries to step up and do the thing. Kung Fu Point is a fun point. My take is they would take it to a third match. They love to have their series of matches these days. I could see... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could see Orange Cassidy getting another opportunity at World's End, because here's the thing, right? I think that the winner of the belt is going to be at Wrestle Dream. I think Moxley is going to, if Moxley loses the belt, so that's why maybe World's End will be a tag match. I wouldn't mind a main event where it is the Death Riders versus, and we'll just see like Team AEW versus the Death Riders at World's End. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. I could see them doing that. But I feel like Darby maybe is in Japan. Maybe at Wrestle Dream, it's Darby. That does take away the hometown crowd, but Japan seemed pretty into Darby when Darby did like 2 matches there. Japan seemed receptive to Darby, but also, like, I just don't know. I could also see it being a Japanese wrestler taking on Moxley and losing, and then we just push it even further until Revolution. I don't know. It'll be interesting to say. But I think eventually it's going to be Darby. Is there somebody that I would want to be that's not Darby? I mean, Danny Garcia. My assumption is Danny is winning the TNT title. This is definitely not the only reason why I think this, but one of the reasons I think this is because New Japan is promoting a December show in the US that Jack Perry is in, and in the photo he doesn't have his belt. He doesn't have a TNT title, but his tag team partner Konosuke Takeshita does have his belt. And they have used photos of him holding the belt before, the TNT title before. So I was like, I wonder. But that's not the only reason, because I honestly think they want Danny to win something at some point. Danny Garcia has to win a match at some point, an important match at some point. Winning the TNT title off Jack makes sense, since he didn't do it against faces and faces versus faces matches. It would make sense to finally pull the trigger on there. Is that the same as a world title win? No. Do I think Danny Garcia at some point will be a world champion in AEW? No. I think Danny Garcia is going to become a world champion at another company someday. Also, one last wrestling rumor. Supposedly, he's working on a handshake deal with TNA, and Speedball Mike Bailey's contract with TNA is up. he is a free agent, and he is working like date to date with them. And there is speculation that he is going to AEW. I don't think Tony Khan's going to pay for Brass Monkey. I think that's fine that they don't pay for if you don't pay for Brass Monkey. I was surprised that NXT never used him in their crossovers with TNA. I would not be surprised to see our boy Speedball Mike Bailey in AEW. It feels like the guy in the United States, the U.S. wrestler that has the best matches in the country, who is not part of WWE or AEW, is Speedball Mike Bailey. He works multiple styles. He can work comedy. He can work tag. He's a high flyer. He will have to fucking slow down and take a few less risks. But I think he'll easily be able to transition from the international indie style, the best of the indie style that he does, to a more grounded style for television. I would love it if Veda Scott also got hired by AEW to be an announcer, but I don't see that as likely as Mike Bailey getting in the door. But Mike Bailey should get in the fucking door. It's long overdue. The fact that once he got his visa stuff taken care of and he was able to travel to the U.S. again and work U.S. indies, Mike Bailey not being in any major company has just seemed ridiculous. It's like, come on, someone buy out his TNA contract. What are we doing here? So if he didn't re-sign with TNA, I really do think he'll end up in AEW. And I think that's a good call, because Speedball Mike Bailey fucking rules. And also, great person. Speedball rules as a person and as a wrestler. One of my favorite matches last year was from December. It was him versus Miyu Yamashita, and it was fucking rad. It was so good. God, that was a good match. It was filmed really well. It was filmed beautifully for indie promotions. I would love for Mikey to get that payday, to get that contract. He's worked so hard and he's so fucking good and loved. People love Mike. I have only had one conversation with Speedball, and it was about comedy stuff that someone else was doing. So it was like talking about the stand-up set that a bunch of us had seen. It was not a wrestling conversation, but it was lovely. It's a real good dude. Best mullet in the biz. All right. And with that, I am going to stop streaming. I'm going to break the rest of this up, and then we'll do the watering can on Saturday. And I think that'll be like 1.5 streams. But tomorrow I will do a poll for my $10 patrons about what I should build next, because there is a chance that I completely build this watering can in just Saturday's stream, and then I'll need to know what to build for that and start. But realistically, I'll finish the watering can on Monday and then start something new. But I'll still run the poll tomorrow. We are going to raid. That is how we do things around here. We're gonna go raid Desert Bus for Hope. The fine folks at Desert Bus for Hope, raising money. They have raised $927,000 so far. They might break $1 million by the end of this, because Night Watch has, which we're jumping in. Oh God, we're jumping into fucking Wet Ones, which is and I've got disconnected again, but hopefully I'll get reconnected by the time we get back into this so we can raid properly. Looks like we're back. Are we back? We're back. Great. Let's get out of here while we still can. We're going to come into Wet Ones, which is the parody of Hot Ones, where they dip chicken nuggets into gross, weird liquids. Feel free to come along in this raid. We'd love for you to do that. I will be back on Saturday. I hope that my internet connection sticks around for that. Thanks everybody for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.